Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to this week's Elliott Wave Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a wonderful week. All right, let's have a look at how the market played out. Before we do that, we're going to start with our trade recaps of the charts that some of the setups that we have been trading in the week. Before we get to that, if you'd like to contact us, check out our contact details on any of the videos on the channel. If you go to the channel, you go to this description, you will find the contact details, as well as our social media platforms. That is the Facebook page, Twitter page, so you can like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. You can also join our Telegram group where you'll find the links to these live webinars. There's also a link to our website, ElliottWave-principle.com, where you'll find more details about Elliott Wave Analysis and education and training. Talking about education and training, our next course starts from the 5th of October. It is a 10-day course. You can book for the course on the website and get the videos immediately. So that means when you attend the live course from the 5th, you would have already watched the videos, and then you can get to ask the questions live when we do the course. Okay, so let's have a look at our Slack platform. Got kicked out a bit there, so let's continue. So let's have a look. I'm going to go to Slack and look at all the charts that we've traded before and after. Let's have a look here. Right, let's start on. So these are the charts from Friday. Let's start with this one. This was a week back. This is from the 11th of September. This is our EURCAD. This was the forecast on EURCAD. Let me get my annotation tool out here. So this was the forecast on EURCAD when it tagged the top here, and we were forecasting that EURCAD was going to make a move to the downside, and this is how it played out. As you can see, a couple of 100 pips to the downside on EURCAD. So that is where the forecast was, exactly from around that area, and now we're coming down like that. Okay, so that is EURCAD. All right, so you can count the number of pips there. Next one is Brent crude. So Brent crude, we've been looking for Brent crude to make a push to the upside and come down. That is how Brent crude has played out. Eventually, a slight push to the upside, and it's coming down. We're still focusing that Brent crude. This was the focus that Brent crude is going to make this push to the upside. We didn't go all the way where we wanted it to. We've now come down like that. So this is actually where we were. Looking for this wave 5 and then looking for this one to come down. So this is Brent crude, just to show you that chart before. Again, this is Brent crude. This is where we were. The focus was that this is going to make a push to the upside to complete the wave 5, and then we're going to drop like that. And this is how it has eventually played out. It was telling, it was showing that it will definitely come to the downside, looking at the sequence, and the indicator was confirming exactly that. Now this is euro yen. This is how euro yen has played out. So as you've seen, the focus was for this to come down here and make a push to the upside. Are we going to go all the way here? We'll do that with market analysis when we start shortly. Chief yen as well. I think I've shown this a couple of weeks back that this was going to make a move down here and then make a move to the upside. We are around here at this stage. Let's have a look at Chief yen. So Chief yen, this is how it has played out. Just around that area. Looks like we're not going to go all the way. We're still coming down here with Chief. We will do an update on this one. So we focused that we're going to make a move down here, and then we're going to make a bounce here. Is this bounce going to go all the way, or is it going to continue to the downside? We will update that shortly. Okay, so this is AUDCAD. So AUDCAD, we're forecasting that we're going to need to get a trade here when it confirms to the downside after this AB correction in the red degree. So that is AUDCAD, and that is AUDCAD did not quite play out. This is still within this corrective structure, has hit the stop. We have to show you all the charts, all the focus, whether it was a win or loss. So this one has hit the stop, and that is how AUDCAD has played out. So we're going to look for a new entry. This is gold. So gold, we're already looking at this triangle. You'll see when we do the market update now what we're expecting with gold. So we're looking at this triangle A, B, C, D here, and this one to come down. So we had a bit of a push to the upside and then downside on gold. Let's have a look. So we are looking for this to come down now here. So we have this. I'll show you the another possible structure other than what you're looking at right now on this chart on gold when we start. So look out for gold analysis on the timestamps. It's actually a very interesting one. I don't want to show it now. I want to show it during market analysis, but look out for the gold analysis as well as silver. They look very interesting. All right, so let's have a look at this one here. This is Pound Chief. The forecast was that this one is going to make a bit of a move to the upside. This move to the upside has to be confirmed first. So let's see how this one has played out on Pound Chief. So we've got a bit of a move to the upside. Now the question is whether this is going all the way to the upside or whether it is only going to make a 3-wave pullback. So if it changes, then we're going to update the structure because there is this possibility as well on Pound Chief. But that is how it is playing out. It's playing out as expected. Euro New Zealand, the forecast was for this to give us a B correction here in this minor degree here. Minute degree here, B. Let's have a look how this is playing out. So you can see the B has already played out and we already started dropping here on Euro New Zealand. All right, so that is Euro New Zealand. Now this is still Euro New Zealand. That was actually a trade setup here. This was not just a focus, it was actually a trade setup. All right, so that is how it is playing out in profit. Next one is Euro Yen. Euro Yen, we've already looked at this one. The forecast initially was from here, and then that was going to make a bounce here. There was an entry here. Let's see how this one has played out. Okay, so we didn't get the move to the upside. As you can see, this one has hit our stop. We're out of this trade. So that's what I was looking at. I was showing you earlier on that we have made a move to the downside. This was the forecast. We're focusing a move down here and a move to continue to the upside. That's why we were also looking for this trade setup to the upside. We didn't get that confirmation here for that trade to the upside. That's why you can see this one has been invalidated. As you can see there, that is Euro Yen. All right, so Euro Yen. Let's have a look at the next one. Next one is AUD US dollar. So AUD US dollar, this is still in corrective structure. It has not confirmed this move to the upside. I will update this one during market analysis because it may make a move to the upside, but we may have to get a move to the downside first before we make a move to the upside. Let's have a look when we start with market analysis. All right, so that is the AUD US dollar. So this is how AUD US dollar is playing out right now. It has just gone sideways. So if this is playing out like this, we may even get a structure like this, and then we get one more down. We get a bigger structure like that. We continue to the upside. Let's watch the market analysis on this one when we start. AUD Yen, we've already looked at AUD Yen. There's a possibility for that move here on AUD Yen. Let's have a look. So AUD Yen also hit the stop here. We have hit the stop on AUD Yen here. We're going to be looking for a new entry here or an update of the structure. Okay, New Zealand US dollar. On profit here, this is the forecast. It is already gone in profit. We'll be looking for continuation patterns to the upside. Let's look at the rest. AUD New Zealand has not pushed up out of this flag. Let's see how this one is going to play out. We'll update this one shortly. So these some of these have not really gone anywhere as yet. That is AUD New Zealand. New Zealand Yen. Right, so New Zealand Yen. So just like AUD New Zealand, this is the same trade as AUD Yen. New Zealand Chief already in profit here, has broken out of this structure. We'll be looking for this one to make a move to the upside. So that is New Zealand Chief, nicely in profit there. Okay, Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin, the forecast here was, it looked like it was going to make a corrective structure, but we could see that the indicator was showing us a bit of a push to the upside. That's why you see Bitcoin out of all the major 4 cryptocurrencies is the only one that has made a bit of a push to the upside. So very nice forecast there to the upside on Bitcoin. So now we're going to be watching whether this is going to continue to the upside. All right, so that's all on the trade recaps. Let's have a look at the market analysis. Start with the DXY. So last week I showed two structures on the DXY as well as US dollar CHF. So DXY, we're looking at this to be a waveform. I'll show you the chart with the sequence shortly, and we're looking for this one to continue to the downside. So I'm expecting continuation to the downside on the DXY because US dollar CHF has already done a similar move. As you can see, US dollar CHF has got the similar move. This is this flat correction here for that wave 4, and looking for this one to continue lower. We are already pulling back for this one and continuing to the downside. So we're expecting the DXY to do a similar, to make a similar move. So I'm going to go to the website. So this will also give you an idea of how we look at the charts and the sequences on the website. So this is the DXY. We're looking for this one to make a continuation to the downside. As you can see, that is the forecast. So we've got 3 waves up there, 3 waves down here, and 3 waves up. So this one is a little bit different here on the website. There's an alternative. So this is my view. This is another view here on the DXY, that this whole thing is actually a running flat. Either that or this is a combination of 1, 2, 3, which is all still the same thing. All right, so with the bias is still the same. We're looking for downside here on the DXY. Continuation to the downside. Any move to the downside, look for pullbacks here and trade this one to the downside. So be careful when it gets to this level, maybe coming down with divergence, and we start getting this move that we're forecasting here to the upside. So don't stay with the long, with a short on the DXY. So this is how it looks. So let's have a look at the euro. Let's have a look at the euro US dollar. Now euro US dollar is the inverse of the DXY. So this one is making a bit of a push to the upside, and we're going to get this move to the upside here. So similar to the DXY, we've got a structure like this that is a expanding flat, and we'll be looking for this one to make a bit of a push to the upside. So that is supporting the view for the DXY to be pushing lower because euro is inversely proportional to the DXY. Right, so that is euro. Let's look at the rest of the US dollar pairs. We'll look at pound US dollar on the 4-hour. So pound US dollar on the 4-hour, we're looking for this correction in the red, a minor degree. So we already have that corrective structure. Let's go to pound US dollar. So that is the corrective structure that you see here on the red degree. Is this now ready to make a push to the downside? This may be our trade of the week if it triggers. So look out for this on our social media pages. If it triggers, we will post this one as our trade of the week. So check out our social media pages on Facebook as well as on Twitter for this one. It's going to be an interesting one. We're just waiting for this one to confirm here. And then we'll be looking for this trade. Right, so that is pound US dollar CHF. We've already looked at the US dollar CHF, expecting US dollar CHF to make a continuation pattern to the downside after making this running flat here. Okay, so that is US dollar CHF. US dollar CAD. Let's have a look at the US dollar CAD on the website. I'll look only on the 4 hours. I won't look in the short-term frames. So here the expectation was for US dollar CAD to make this W correction, 3-wave correction. So this is how it has played out. We've already got the W. This is what has happened. We've made a bit of a push to the downside like this. Now we are here looking for this to continue and complete this 1, 2, 3 in red. Then we'll look for continuation to the downside. So US dollar CAD short-term, we're looking for short-term upside on US dollar CAD. So we've got that. 1, 2, 3. Now looking for this one to push higher. Okay, so that is a US dollar CAD. Audi US dollar, we've already looked at this one and trade recaps. So look out for this one, a bit of a push to the upside, but this is still just giving us this move. Okay, as much as it's pushing up higher, this looks very corrective. And if we take this top here, this is opening up for the upside because that will now give us the structure and then upside. That is Audi US dollar. Right, so New Zealand US dollar. New Zealand US dollar, expect continuation to the upside. We have tagged this top here. Even if we do come back down here, this will be a continuation pattern to the upside here. But look out for this one to correct at current levels. Looking at the weakness on the US dollar, this may be pushing up higher without retesting this low here. That is New Zealand US dollar. US dollar ZAR. Now, US dollar ZAR has broken lower than the flat correction here. 1, 2, 3. We have now gone up to this level. We focused this move here when it broke again, when it broke lower here. We saw this one coming down here. like that. So we are now around this area. Is this now ready to make a push to the upside and new all-time highs on US dollar ZAR? Don't pick the bottoms. We will be looking for, waiting for confirmation when we make a push to the upside. That is US dollar ZAR. Pound yen. Pound yen, let's have a look at the website again. Let's refer to the website here. So we're looking at the yen pairs now. Let's go to the yen pairs. Right now, looking at the yen pairs, let's look at pound yen. Now, pound yen, we're looking for this one to make a corrective structure here. So the corrective structure here and then continuation to the downside. We made a corrective structure here. We've made a short-term move to the downside. It looks like this corrective structure is only going to start playing out now. So let us watch out for this corrective structure. So we had this correction here. We've pushed down lower, still expecting this bigger one here to make a move to the downside. So let's have a look at that. So this is the corrective structure that broke to the downside. Didn't go anywhere, we just made a move to the downside here. So we're looking for a deeper corrective structure here before any continuation to the downside on pound yen. That is a structure that you're looking at on the website there. All right, so that is pound yen, US dollar yen. Let's have a look here. Now, US dollar yen, let's go to US dollar yen on the 4-hour. You'll see here the forecast was for this one to make a bit of a push to the upside on the top boundary of the channel and make a continuation to the downside. We didn't make this push to the upside, we just went down like that. So that means this is all a corrective structure on US dollar yen, and we're looking possibly for a structure like this. Let's have a look here on US dollar yen and just look at the structure here. So this was a 3-wave pullback. Now we're coming down with this move. We're coming down with one. So three waves pull back here. Let's change the color here. Change the color here. Let's just have a look here. I just want to get my annotation right. Right, so the 3-wave pullback here, and then we have made a more continuation pattern to the downside here. So we've got 1, 2, pullback here. It looks like we're gonna make, let's just have a look at the website on this one here. Let's have a look at the website and look at the structure, AUD, US dollar yen. So this is what we have. Let me just refresh here. I wanna give you the latest chart here on AUD US dollar yen. Just want to refresh the website here, see if we can get the last one here. There we go. So that is the structure that we have on US dollar yen. This is the update here. So we've got one possible structure here, a bit of a bounce here before we continue lower. So that move to the upside that was expected for our green X is still the same, except this is the expectation for X here. So let's see if we're going to have a bounce at current levels, and then we'll make a continuation to the downside on US dollar yen. Right, so let's have a look at Euro Yen. We've already looked at Euro Yen earlier on during trade recaps. So looking for this one to have made a pullback here. So we need to see here if it's not going to make a double first. Let's see the pullback here, maybe just a corrective one here. We look for this one and then make a move to the upside. Indicator currently is showing us that we're still going to continue lower. So let's see, the continuation to the downside may be confirmed by this pullback here on Euro Yen. So let's have a look at this. Right, that is Euro Yen. Okay, so let's go to Chief Yen. Chief Yen similar. So both Euro and Chief, the structure may change, and I need to show you, I'm going to show you both of these on the daily. Let me go to the daily on both the Euro and the Yen. Okay, so look out for this structure, and if this structure confirms, we may be heading for a big move to the downside. Let's go to the daily first. So just be mindful of this view as well. We will look for that confirmation. There are two ways this can play out here. So we could be having this as a expanding flat. Now, if this is an expanding flat, that means that move, that expectation to the upside is not going to play out. So we need to see if we're going to get confirmation for downside here. We've been on a short-term uptrend here. we need to get confirmation of this continuation of the trend to the upside. If it does not come, we'll be looking for confirmation of this one here. So that means the structure is going to change like this. We're going to have this one here. We're going to have this one coming down here. Okay, so when in doubt, always zoom out and have a look at this. So this will be a very interesting one, because if we get a trade here from around 123 or around current levels, we could be going for about 800 pips to the downside minimum, or even better to around these areas. So let's have a look. Two possibilities that are going to result in this one coming down, because this could be another expanding flat on this. So let's have a look here. Confirmation for downside will be an interesting one on Euro Yen as well as Chief Yen. Let's have a look at Chief Yen as well. Now Chief Yen has made this move. This is a three-wave move to the upside here. It's a pullback here. So we could also have ended Chief Yen at this level. Now if Chief Yen has ended at this level on the daily, we'll be looking for this one to come down here with this yellow degree. So if you get a confirmation here for this move to the downside, we'll be looking for Chief Yen to come around this area, which will be a very nice sell setup on Chief Yen and Euro Yen for downside. So look out for this to come down. Okay, let's go to the lower time frames. Lower time frames are all confirming, are showing downside, not confirming reversal as yet. So let's see how they're going to play out. Right, so just look out for those. Those are going to be interesting ones to look at. CAD Yen. So let's have a look at CAD Yen here. So CAD Yen is a three-wave move to the upside. We've got a three-wave pullback. This is making a move to the upside here. So we could be getting another three waves to the downside here on CAD Yen. Right, let's have a look at whether this is going to be just to come and retest the low here, or if it's going to go all the way down. So we didn't hit the target. It didn't really retest the previous high here. So we could be getting this move to the downside. So there's also a possibility to come down here like that. So it has not reached the invalidation for down for upside here. Okay, so let's have a look. That is CAD Yen, AUD Yen. AUD Yen, look out for this structure here. We've got a pullback, 1, 2, 3. I'm just showing you the latest corrective structure on AUD Yen. So we could be getting this one here. Short-term downside on AUD Yen, not confirmed upside as yet. So look out for this corrective structure as a pullback like that. All right, so that is AUD Yen. Let's look at New Zealand Yen. New Zealand Yen. On the 4-hour, we've got this move to the upside. We looked for this one to be making a possible structure like this. One, and this one being a regular flat or a zigzag there, and this one coming down like that. So that possibility still exists, and it looks like maybe a very nice one to look at as well in the short term, because we've got this one here, we've got a three-wave pullback here. So look out for a corrective structure and confirmation of downside here on New Zealand Yen. So that move will be possibly just to retest this low here and resume upside. That is New Zealand. Gold, I said there's an interesting structure on gold earlier on, so look out for gold structure. We're looking for downside. We're looking at this triangle that you saw earlier on trade recaps. This is the triangle that we're looking at on gold. So we're looking at this one to be doing that on gold. So this is an A, B, C, D, E structure on gold, but look out for this. This is the move that started. We've got an A here. The whole triangle A, B, C, D, E could be a B wave. And if that is a B wave, so we've got A, B, C, D, E, we'll be looking for gold to come and make this move to the downside. It's a bit jumpy. This move to the downside and then upside. Remember, this is still a corrective structure. That will be a C on gold. So this trade that is coming here on gold will be an interesting one, because that could be the one that goes all the way before gold resumes upside. So look out for this interesting trade on gold. It will be a nice one if you catch that move to the downside. Just be careful when you get to this level, because you can't get a bounce at that level. All right, so that is gold. Very interesting structure. Silver, similar. So silver is making what looks like a running triangle. If you've read anything about the running triangle Elliott wave structure, this is a good example of it on silver. So we've got this move here, similar to what we have on gold. We started with an impulsive move, 5 waves here, and we've got a move to the upside here on silver. It's 1. It's A actually here, B, C, D, and we'll be looking for E here. Let me just draw the running triangle here. So a running triangle looks something like this. So a running triangle looks something like this. So that means your C on a running triangle, didn't label this correctly, your C on a running triangle, that is A, B, C, D, and E. So this last move here on silver, if we make a move to the downside here on silver, we'll be making the last one here, and then we'll be looking for a move to the upside. So what I'm looking at here on silver is this. Bit of a move to the upside, last move E, up, down, so we should use the red color there, and use the correct labeling here. That's A, B, C, D, E. E on silver, and we make this move to the upside. That will have completed that, and then we'll be looking for this one to make a move to the downside like this, and resume up higher, same as gold. But let's watch this because gold is showing downside, so that triangle structure may be invalidated, so we'll have to look at both. Okay, right, so that is what we'll be looking at on silver and gold. Short-term downside there. Right, so that is gold. Let's have a look at Brent crude. We've already looked at Brent crude oil. So Brent crude oil, we made that move to the downside. So this was the focus on Brent crude. We've made a drop here. After this ending diagonal on Brent crude, we made a move to the downside, which was corrective. Now Brent crude looks to be resuming a move to the upside here. So any pullback here on oil, look for a pullback here and continuation to the upside, at least back to the previous highs and possibly even higher. Okay, so that is Brent crude, pound chief. Pound chief, that is that corrective structure. It looks to be coming correctively. If you've seen the forecast earlier on, the focus was for this one to make a continuation to the upside like that, but this is coming up correctively. So let's watch this to confirm upside. If it does this, then we'll be looking for this trade to the downside, at least back to this level. So we need to watch this corrective structure that's playing out currently on pound chief. Okay, you can refer back to the chart that I've shown during trade recaps for pound chief. Right, our pound Audi also making a corrective structure, so look out for a continuation to the downside. So it looks like the pound pairs are going to continue with the downtrend in the next week as well. Let's have a look at pound CAD. So pound CAD looks to be the only one that could possibly continue to the upside because of the CAD in it. Even if that is a move, we'll be looking for this one to make a correction here first. That is pound CAD. Pound New Zealand. Pound New Zealand is clear, showing continuation to the downside. We've made a three-wave pullback here. Be careful when you get to this level because this three-wave move can just be the fifth wave of this that will make a bounce here before continuing to the downside. That is pound New Zealand. Let's look at the euros. We'll start with euro pound. Now euro pound, interesting structure, not yet confirmed. We're looking at the pound pairs to continue moves to the downside. If that is the case, we'll look for this one to push to the upside in the next week. Let's have a look at the daily chart on this one. So the daily chart on euro pound looks like this. We've got one, we've got two, we've got three. Now the question is whether this third wave is complete or we're still gonna get this one to continue higher like that. Right, so if we're just going to be waiting for this confirmation to see if we're going to get a move to the upside here. So not necessarily a good trade here because it was already made such a big move after this corrective structure here. So watch out for this one to push a little bit higher and then downside. That is euro pound, euro Audi. Euro Audi is still playing out this flat correction here. So I'm on the daily here. Look out for this 1, 2, 3 here. That's a flat. We already looked at this flat correction. Now we're looking for this to continue lower here. A break below this level here will invalidate any possibility of a triangle or this one extending to be a double correction like that. So if we break lower, that means this corrective structure is ended and we continue lower like that. Just look out for this. Let's look at it on the 4 hour. Let's look at this correction here on the 4 hour to see if we're going to get that continuation to the downside. Okay, so that's where we are. We're looking at this continuation pattern. Is this going to make a bounce or retest here before continuing to the downside? Either that, or we can be looking at this as a flag. If this one breaks lower, then we're going all the way, and this is going to be in play and looking for this trade. That is EURAUD. EURCAD. EURCAD showing the structure. We've made a move down here. We have made a pullback, 1, 2. Looks like we're going to make another 3 here on EURCAD. So the short-term move to look out for on EURCAD is upside here. EURJPY. EURJPY has just been sideways since July with this structure here. Okay, so let's have a look here. So we could be at the end of the structure here. We've got a move to the upside. We've got 1, 2, 3 on this one here. So we could be looking for this as an expanding flat and looking for a push to the upside. Now look out for a continuation pattern to the upside. Will be a nice one to look at. This one on the euro. So above this, confirmation above this, we look for this one to continue higher. Back to this level. Although you need to look at this structure first before getting to that level. Right, so that is EURJPY, Euro New Zealand. Let's have a look at Euro New Zealand. Are we going to bounce here on Euro New Zealand? This is 3 waves up. This is like pulsing move to the downside. Doesn't look like we're going to get a bounce here, and it looks like we're going to have a move to the downside here. If we get this confirmation here for a continuation pattern, we'll be looking for the next level here. There is about 400 pips away from current levels on Euro New Zealand. That is Euro New Zealand. Let's go to AUDCAD. AUDCAD, expect continuation to the upside. We have tagged this top here, looking for this one to pull back and make a 3-wave pullback and continue higher. AUDJPY. AUDJPY is just going sideways after the 3-wave pullback. We've got the 3-wave pullback here. It's making a move up here. Looks like we're getting a pullback here, which can give us this structure, and we get this. That will be a WXY corrective structure on AUDJPY. Then we look for upside. Right, that is AUDJPY, Audi New Zealand. Audi New Zealand has now made these 3 waves to the upside here. We're looking for this one here to continue slightly here to make this, to complete this 3-wave structure. So you don't want to be selling this at this level. We're actually looking for upside from here on the breakout of this corrective structure here. So we're looking for this one to go from here, but it looks like we're making a 3-wave structure. Let's have a look at the daily on Audi New Zealand. Right, so let's look at Audi New Zealand. So this could be a deeper corrective structure on Audi New Zealand. Let's see how far this will go. So we're just going to be looking for this one. We could even get something like this and something like this. If we do get a continuation pattern, which could take a couple of days to build up, we'll be looking for upside. I have shown a couple of weeks back. If we check on the Audi New Zealand timestamps, you will see where I'm explaining why we are long-term, we're focusing upside long-term on Audi New Zealand. New Zealand CAD. New Zealand CAD, look for continuation pattern to the upside, at least back to this level. If we take this level, we're going to be opening upside. Even if we do retest this low here, that will be a flat correction. So let's watch out for this one here to see if we can have continuation from there or retest first before continuation pattern. We have got a trade setup on this one, has not started playing out, but it's looking good. So we've got that move here. That is a pulsing move. We've got a 3-wave pullback. We've got our upside here. That was our entry. Now we're looking for this one to make a move to the upside. There's a possibility that we take this top here, we come back for one and make a flat before we go. So if you're in a trade here, you just hold on to the trade up until around that level. CADJPY. CADJPY looking for downside here. We've got a clear 3-wave move to the downside here. After this 1, 2, 3 waves to the upside. So this is making another move. Looks like we're gonna have one. We're gonna have, just clear this. We're gonna have a move up here. We've got a 1, 2, 3 here, we could be getting this move to the downside. So the corrective structure is still in the making, so we'll be taking it one wave at a time. In this case, we're going to be looking for downside here on CADJPY. Let's go back to the 4-hour. So let's see if this is going to drop 1, 2, 3, and then downside. That is CADJPY. Let's go to the indices. Look out for the crypto webinar immediately after this. We're going to be using the same link. And you can check it out on the website. So the indices are very simple for considering what we have looked at last week. We have only been looking at a 3-wave structure after these 5 waves up. Let's show you the 5 waves up. Let's show the structure here. So this is 5 waves. This is after the 3-wave pullback here in the red degree, 1, 2, 3 here. So we're looking for these to go and make a wave of 5 in the blue degree. Is this a complete wave 5 here? Right now, we are looking for this. We saw these corrective structures last week. We're making a move to the downside like this. It could make a double correction. Doesn't matter, whichever structure it makes, whether it makes a double or whether a double coming down here or a sideways flat correction, it really doesn't matter. We'll be looking for this. So initially, for now, the next immediate move that we'll be looking at is for this one to make these 3 waves here on the 4-hour. That is S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrial and Transportation. Now, I have shown in one of my videos, you can check out it's not on the title of the video, it is on the thumbnail, the real truth about indicators, and also a short explanation on the Dow theory as far as transportation and industrial is concerned, as well as relative strength. I explained it in my videos. Just go search through it in my channels. You'll find that what I'm referring you to here. So what I'm referring to here is relative strength. I want to show you relative strength between Dow Jones Industrial and Dow Jones Transportation. Let's bring out 2 charts here. So there is a difference between relative strength index and relative strength. So let's have a look here. I'm showing you relative strength between 2 pairs or 2 instruments. So the top there is at the top is Dow Jones Industrial. I'm going to remove the indicators. It's Dow Jones Industrial, and the bottom will be Dow Jones Transportation. Let's have a look at this. Let's put this one out. So if we're going to have a reversal, so the Dow theory states that the 2 pair instruments that are in correlation, the trend will only change if the one instrument stops making higher highs. So for example, if we're making higher highs here, this has been making higher highs, so that means this is confirming. So if they keep confirming themselves, that means you're going to have an uptrend. Right now, if you look at this here, at the Dow Jones Industrial as well as the Dow Jones Transportation, you'll see that the transportation has made a new high. What has happened to the industrial? The industrial has made a new low. What does this mean? This means that this is going to change the trend to the downside, whether it is a reversal or just a pullback. But because they're no longer confirming each other, here it has just been confirmation of the higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. Now immediately here, this one makes a new high, this one makes a new low. So we will always go with this one, the relative strength between Dow Jones Industrial and Dow Jones Transportation. That's why we're going to be looking for short-term downside on Dow as well as the S&P 500. All right. All right, so you wanted to see full screen. So this is full screen here. So this is what we're looking at. If you look at the Dow Jones Industrial, we've been making higher highs up to that level. Let me make it here. Let me put it at the same level. Let's put it at the same level. Right, so you can see clearly. So from here, this is the wave 4. It's not labeled. This is that wave 4 in the red degree. So you can see we're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one has made a new high. This one has made a new low. You can see they divert. So there is divergence between the 2 instruments. So that means we're eventually going to have a pullback there. That's what I wanted to show you on Dow and transportation and industrial. All right, so let's have a look at the rest of the indices. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ is just like, let's go back to one chart here. Let's use one chart and look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ is simply also just making a three-wave structure here, just like the S&P 500. We've got this move to the downside. That's 3 waves down, correction here. So the 3 waves that I'm referring to here is 1, is 2, is 3. 1, 2, 3 pullback. We expect another 3-wave pullback here for one more down before this one completes the move to the downside and we resume higher. That is the NASDAQ. That will be a WXY structure. So that means it's looking for this one to continue lower before a resumption of the move to the upside. UK 100. UK 100, we have looked at this structure here. Let me show you the structure. This SA flat correction here, 1, 2, 3, and look for this one to make a continuation pattern to the upside. Let's see if this is going to be a continuation pattern here. We'll be looking for this one to make this move. That is UK 100, the DXY, DAX. So DAX, we've placed a trade on the DAX around this level and it has just been going sideways. It has not really gone anywhere. As you can see, we've made a move. It has just gone sideways. So looks like we're going to have an ending diagonal on the DAX here like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So let's watch out for one more up here. Then we'll look out for a bigger corrective structure on the DAX. All right, so that is the DAX and Nikkei as well. So Nikkei, we also have placed a trade here on this one here on the break to the upside after looking at this one as a 3-wave pullback. Now it has also been going sideways, but this time it shows that it will eventually take off. We've got that corrective continuation pattern and we're going to be looking for upside on the Nikkei. Right, and lastly, Nifty. Nifty is just making this corrective structure here. It's 3 down, easy 3 down, 3 up. We could be looking for maybe a bit of a push to the upside, take the top, come back down, and Nikkei will make one more up. That's all I have for you this week. Don't forget to hit the notification and the subscribe button so you can get an alert next time we post a video. Have a great week, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.